I had a dream last night that made me remember something about my VW van that I had forgotten about. The dream, though, was about my current car, the '03 Mustang. I dreamt that it was at the Ford dealership and they were recommending that I get a paint job. So they talked me into it. I was leaving the dealership with the written estimate, reading it, and I saw the price and I panicked. They wanted $5,600 to paint the car. So I ran back in and I said, "Don't start the paint job yet. I hope you haven't started it. This is way more than I can afford." Well, that dream made me remember the days of the Earl Scheib $39.99 paint job. And I had my van painted a gunmetal gray, an Earl Scheib paint job. When I bought it in '67, brand new, it was green. But for the last 8 months or so that I had the van, it was gunmetal gray. Well, I wasn't too kind to that van. I had to drive it very hard just to keep up with the cars on the freeway, just to do the speed limit. It was pedal to the metal all the time to get up to 65. So that was very hard on the exhaust. The exhaust pipe used to get red hot. Well, the trend back then was to replace the bumper, the metal bumper, with a wooden bumper and carve into it and get it, the wood burning kit and all that stuff. Instead of doing that, I did have a 2x6. I drilled holes in it and I bolted it to the bracket that secured the metal bumper. So I had this wood bumper that I put about 14 coats of marine varnish on. Well, it was shiny, it looked great, but it would smolder because of the exhaust pipe. All that pedal to the metal had caused the exhaust pipe to get red hot, and it would make that bumper smolder occasionally, and I'd see wisps of smoke. Well, one time I was driving through the Sepulveda Tunnel. I was going through the Sepulveda Tunnel when somebody pulled up alongside of me and they were trying to tell me, "Hey, your bumper's on fire." Well, I used to hear that all the time, and mostly it was smoke from the smoldering, and it would just go out by itself. So I said, "What, smoke or flames?" And the driver said, "Flames." So I looked in the mirror and I could see a flame. So I'm coming out of the Sepulveda Tunnel and I pull into this gas station, the one on Sepulveda and El Segundo, I guess it is. And the guy's waving me like this, waving me off, "Don't come in." But I headed straight for the little island where they've got the air and the water. I avoided the gas pumps. I went straight for the air and the water. And I was able to get the small fire out. So that was kind of a close call, something that I'd forgotten about. And the other part was that after I traded that van in, the suspension was going out. I only had it for 5 years. I traded the van in and got a '72 Mustang. At the time I was working for the restaurant supply, so I was in the truck making a delivery. I was out in the valley somewhere, maybe Sherman Oaks, and I was behind a VW van on the freeway. It was a gray VW van. Caught my attention, and I kept looking at it. It got off the freeway and went down the off-ramp and started to go underneath the freeway. And I'm looking out of the window at the van, and I could see from the top that the green paint had been fading through the gunmetal gray. And I said, "That's my van!" It got me really excited to see my old van. But mostly, I was just so surprised that it was still running.